A pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to King's Newsroom for the 5 minutes of news from Liberia and the rest of our one world. Today is Tuesday, October 14, 2025. My name is Cornelius Johnson, anchoring story topping the headlines this afternoon. 8 Judicial Circuit Court of Nimba County sentences full head and co-chair of the group of 77 disadvantaged or disabled persons organizations in Nimba County to 25 years in prison for whipping a 1 year, 11 months old minor. Chief Justice Yamin Weze calls on the General Auditing Commission to conduct a comprehensive audit of the immediate past administration under former Chief Justice Yanin Yo. Chief Justice Weze says the audit will enhance transparency within Liberia judicial system. Solidarity and Trust for a New Day demands the immediate dismissal of Police Inspector General Colonel Gregory Coleman over his alleged involvement in the death of Matthew Moba, a man believed to be mentally challenged. And of the Home Front soldiers in Madagascar have threatened to seize state TV. President Andra Rajolina's office has said the news bulletin voices of the newsmakers are all packaged in this edition of the program. We take a very short break to be right back. President Joseph Boakai has called for deep judicial reform, institutional integrity, and renewed public trust in the nation's justice system. Making remarks at the opening of the Supreme Court October term of court opening, President Boakai signaling that the judicial accountability and performance will be central to his administration national development vision. Speaking from the Temple of Justice before a gathering of top legal minds, lawmakers, diplomats, and civil society leaders, President Joseph Boakai commended the appointment of Chief Justice Weze and newly seated Associate Justice Boakai Kanan, describing their ascension as both symbolic and practical sign of institutional renewal and a potential shift in the public perception of Liberia's embattled judiciary. He acknowledged these challenges, noting widespread complaints about the slow pace of trials, lack of transparency, and the perception that justice sometimes bends on influence. He further called on lawyers and court officers to prioritize ethics and professionalism in their work while reminding other Liberians that justice is not just a matter for courts but a shared civic culture. Also, in remarks, Liberia National Bar Association President Councilor Bono Varman reaffirmed LMBA's support for the new Chief Justice leadership of the Supreme Court. He expressed optimism that the judiciary trajectory under Chief Justice Yamin Weze and Associate Justice Boakai Kanan is currently absent due to medical reasons. Councilor Varman praised Chief Justice Weze's reform-oriented leadership and commended that the bench is for its decision to hear and conclude a politically sensitive electoral dispute from Nimba County during its recess, a move the Vice President described as extraordinary and worthy of national admiration. Chief Justice Yamin Weze has formally requested the General Auditing Commission to conduct a comprehensive audit of the immediate past administration under former Chief Justice Yanin Yo, delivering his opening address on Monday during the commencement of the October term of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia. Chief Justice Weze said the call for an audit is intended to set the record straight and promote transparency within the judiciary. He further announced that all judges and magistrates who have not yet declared their assets have been given 30 days to comply or face administrative consequences. Chief Justice Weze emphasized that his administration is actively working to reform, improve, and restore integrity within the judiciary. The Chief Justice also announced the establishment of the Judiciary Monitoring, Evaluation, and Accountability Division, or unit he described as a powerful internal oversight body of the judiciary. The civil society organization Solidarity and Trust for a New Day is demanding immediate dismissal of Police Inspector General Colonel Gregory Coleman over his alleged involvement in the death of Matthew Moba, a man believed to be mentally challenged. Speaking to King's FM Monday, Stern's Secretary General George Tengbe describes Moba's death as a cold-blooded killing. He expressed deep concern over the circumstances of the incident, which he claimed point to disturbing patterns of extrajudicial killings, police brutality, and abuse of power under the administration of President Joseph Boakai. Tengbe argued that both the Inspector General and the officers allegedly involved in the killing should be dismissed and prosecuted, noting that such actions will ensure justice for Mobile and other victims who were reportedly killed by police officers. The civil society organization, through its secretary, also called for a forensic investigation into the incident, including an examination of the firearm reportedly used and the sedative injection allegedly administered to the victim. Tengbe at the same time urged the government to establish a dedicated mental health response unit within the LMP, emphasizing that such a unit will help in crisis management on a non-lethal methods of interventions, among other things. Vice President Jeremiah Cohn has broken silence amid growing speculation of a political feud between Nimba County Senator Samuel Koga, strongly denying any rift and reaffirming his continued support for the senator. Speaking Monday morning on the Voice of Compine radio, VP Cohn dismissed what he called baseless romance of a power struggle between two of Nimba's most prominent political figures, particularly as a jokingly for influence ahead of future elections. In an effort to downplay perceptions of internal divisions with Nimba political leadership, the vice president turned to metaphor. Cohn's remarks come in the wake of a pointed public statement by Senator Samuel Koga, who appeared to criticize the vice president's perceived influence in Nimba politics. The Student Unification Party of the University of Liberia propaganda chairman Emmanuel Pole has underscored the need for the government of Liberia to place more emphasis on the state-run university. Pole emphasized that the government has failed to live up to its promises, including the provision of buses, salaries, disbursement of faculty staff, scarcity of water for bathrooms, and unhygienic condition of the university facilities. The SUP propaganda chairman warned that if nothing is done to remedy the situation, the SUP will stage protests in the coming weeks demanding the government to adhere to its obligations, something he said they will not rest until the government acts. He made the assertion on Monday at the University of Liberia Capitol Hills campus. The Liberian National Police has announced a reward of US 2,000 for anyone who will provide credible information leading to the identification and arrest of an individual connected to the death of Sianen Ko. According to the LMP, Ms. Ko was allegedly killed by unknown individuals on June 20th in Boston, Miami County, following her return to the country from exile. Meanwhile, the mysterious circumstances surrounding her death have sparked widespread fear and concern among the Liberian public, with many calling on the LMP to launch a swift and thorough investigation into the matter. In a statement released Monday, the police stressed the importance of public cooperation in assisting its investigative team, urging anyone with relevant information to come forward and support the ongoing investigation. The statement further emphasized that any information shared with investigators will be treated with strict confidentiality. The LNP reassured the public that it remains committed to ensuring justice is served in this case. The press bureau of the House of Representatives has dismissed reports alleging plans to remove Deputy Speaker Thomas Falai from his position. In a statement issued Monday, the Director of Press, Robert Hens, clarified that there is no intention by any members of the House to unseat the Deputy Speaker. He emphasized that Representative Fala continues to enjoy the full confidence and support of Speaker Richard Cohen and the entire membership of the legislature. The statement further added that both Deputy Speaker Fala and members of the House are fully focused on tax ahead as the legislature commences its third and final quarter section of the year. Meanwhile, the Press Bureau cautioned the public and media institutions against disseminating unverified information, warning that such actions could undermine the integrity and smooth functioning of the legislature. And the Liberia National Police has charged 31-year-old Chris Zawe, known as Alaba, with multiple criminal offenses, including armed robbery, following his arrest in connection with a violent attack that occurred in early September in the New Georgia area, according to official charge sheet issued by the Anti-Robbery Unit of the Crime Services Division. Zawe faces 5 felony charges: armed robbery, theft of property, criminal conspiracy, possession and sale of physical objects for lethal use. These charges violate Section 10, 15, and 17 of the revised Penal Code of the Republic of Liberia, specifically Section 15.30, 15.51, and 10.4. Police say the case stems from an incident on September 4, 2025, when Avin and Cully, a 28-year-old motorcyclist from Mount Barclay, was attacked while transporting a passenger from Bennett stop in Partnersville to New Georgia Gulf. Upon arrival, Cully was ambushed by 4 unidentified men, including Zawe, who were armed with cutlasses. The suspects allegedly beat the victim and forcibly stole his black Pajero motorbike valued at $850 United States dollars before fleeing the scene. Zawe was arrested nearly a month later on October 3, 2025 in New Georgia after police received intelligence placing him in the Gardnersville area with a known gang. The news bulletin will take a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you the voices of the newsmakers. Thanks for being there and welcome back. If you're just tuning in, a reminder you are in tune to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes of news from Liberia and the rest of our one war. Story top in the headlines this afternoon: 8 Judicial Circuit Court of Nimba County sentences former head and co-chairman of the group of 72nd Disabled Persons Organization in Nimba County to 25 years in prison for raping a 1 year, 11 months old minor. Let's now bring you voices of the newsmakers. President Joseph Boakai has called for deep judicial reform, institutional integrity, and renewed public trust in the nation's justice system. Making remarks at the opening of the Supreme October term of court opening, President Boakai signaling that judicial accountability and performance will be central to his administration national development vision. Speaking from the Temple of Justice before a gathering of top legal minds, lawmakers, diplomats, and civil society leaders, President Boakai commended the appointment of Chief Justice Weze and newly seated Associate Justice Boakai Conan, describing their session as both symbolic and practical sign of institutional renewal and a potential shift in the public perception of Liberia's embattled judiciary.
So, folks, what?
Members of the diplomatic corps, of the nation's judiciary. This occasion signifies not just the start of a new term, but also a renewal of public trust in one of the 3 equal coordinate branches of the government. Today we also witness a moment of transition and hope. On behalf of the government of the Republic of Liberia, I extend heartfelt congratulations To his owner, Yemi Okuri Bezi, Chief Justice, as he assumes the highest judicial office in our republic. We commend his expressed determination to pursue long needed reforms within the judiciary, reforms that will strengthen the rule of law and restore the confidence of our citizens. Equally, we welcome his honor, Walker N. Hammond, the new Associate Justice, whose appointment brings new energy, experience, perspective to the bench. His inclusion in books and body is authentic, representing the renewal of the judiciary and a continued effort to strengthen its then integrity, balance, and independence. The role of the judiciary is safeguarding democracy. Our system of government is based on three equal branches: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Each has its own or share one sacred obligation to serve the Liberian people with integrity, fairness, and respect from the law. The judiciary stands as the ultimate guardian of liberty and fairness. It is here that every Liberian, rich or poor, educated or uneducated, must find protection and justice.
Also in remarks, Liberia National Bar Association President Councillor Bono Vama reaffirmed the LMBA's support for the new Chief Justice leadership of the Supreme Court. He expressed optimism about the judiciary trajectory under Chief Justice Bese and Associate Justice Bwaka Kane, who is currently absent due to medical reasons.
On this solemn and historic occasion, I rise on behalf of the Liberia National Bar Association, LMBA, to extend warm congratulations to His Honor Yemi Kokwe Bese Senior, Chief Justice of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia, and to His Honor Bwakai Nama Kane, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, as you take your seats on the highest bench of our beloved republic. Today is a moment of renewal for our judiciary. The sitting of a Chief Justice and an Associate Justice is more than the filling of vacancies. It is a reaffirmation of our nation's constitutional journey, and it symbolizes the enduring strength of our rule system, and it reminds us that while personalities may change, the sacred duty of upholding justice remains constant. Chief Justice Bese Senior and Associate Justice Kane, you assume these revered offices at a critical juncture in Liberia's history. The people of Liberia look to the Supreme Court not only as a final arbiter of disputes, but as a guardian of rights, the protector of our liberties, and the custodian of our democracy. The burden is heavy, but the trust reposed in you by the nation speaks volumes at your character, your competence, and commitment to the law. The bar is conscious of the immense expectation of the Liberian people. Our justice system must confront challenges such as limited access to justice for the poor, delays in adjudication, perception of corruption, and the need for continuous reform to meet international standards of fairness, efficiency. These challenges demand of you wisdom, humility, steadfast devotion to the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. But the bar is equally confident in your capacity to lead with distinction. Your careers, marked by service, integrity, and resilience, have prepared you for this sacred trust. We believe your stewardship on this bench will inspire renewed public confidence in the justice system and strengthen the very foundation of peace and stability in our country.
He's the president of the Liberia National Bar Association, Councillor Bono Vama. Earlier listened to President Joseph Boakai. At the same time, Chief Justice Yamin Bwezi has formally requested the General Auditing Commission to conduct a comprehensive audit of the immediate past administration, honoring former Chief Justice Yanen Yo, delivering his opening address on Monday during the commencement of the October 10 of the Honorable Supreme Court. Chief Justice Bwezi said the call for an audit is intended to set the record straight and promote transparency within the judiciary.
On second I invited the General Auditing Commission to commission an audit of my immediate past administration of the judiciary. We deem it proper to do so for the sake of record. Because in this country, in general, the general notion is that everyone who works for government is corrupt. We have also instructed all our judges and magistrates who are not declared the answer to do so within 10 days or airspace administrative for the 3 ladies and gentlemen. My administration will effort to reform and improve and restore the integrity of our judiciary. Then, for the past 8 weeks, we met and had conversation with the general staff of the judiciary. There is an urgent need for a family court. At the moment, the issue of family, which include marriage, divorce, separation, children support, adoption, guardian of children, custody of children, etc., is being handled in various pieces by the probate court, civil law court, and the juvenile court, all of which are not only qualified for last requisite training, support, and experience to handle family matters. Call upon our national and international development council to join all in support in this endeavor. And same with ladies and gentlemen, in effort to battle corruption in the judiciary, we have established a judicial referral to our judiciary monitoring evaluation and accountability unit in the judiciary. The judiciary will monitor, evaluate, and ensure accountability in all facets of the judiciary. This process will be a white door. This process will white door the performance of our judges in particular, the magistrates, and the entire judiciary. The judicial monitoring evaluation unit will be empowered to visit all courts with or without notice. Observe court proceedings in and out of open court, during chamber, clerk office, sheriff office, take notes of all activities, including photographing, recording when necessary. Check court records to ensure whether or not the legitimate fines and fees, cost of court, etc., are collected and accounted for.
He's the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Nyamin Kwekwe there speaking. The civil society organization Solidarity and Trust for a New Day is demanding the immediate dismissal of Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman over his alleged involvement in the death of Matthew Mowa, a man believed to have been mentally challenged. Speaking to Kings FM Monday, Stern's Secretary General George Tembe described Mowa's death as a cold-blooded killing. He expressed deep concern over the circumstances of the incident, which he claimed points to a disturbing pattern of extrajudicial killings, police brutality, and abuse of power under the administration of President Joseph Boakai.
We are deeply outraged and heartbroken by the brutal killing of Massimo. He's a young man, that was living with mental illness and this come at the hands of officers of the Liberia National Police. We believe what should have been a simple call for help from a desperate family turned into a scene of horror and bloodshed. The people just called the Liberia National Police to alert them. So Matthew was not a criminal. He was a patient in distress. Yet, instead of compassion and care, he received bullets and brutality. We were on the scene. We investigated the crime scene independently. Eyewitnesses, along with video evidence, clearly showed that the police discharged multiple rounds, leaving Matthew bleeding and helpless before being handcuffed and injected with a sedative. And that is one of the issues that people should focus on. He was injected with a sedative. Now, people need to understand why. He was taken to DFK, medical facility, but then later on he was abandoned without medical attention after officers falsely branded him as armed robber. Imagine. So this act is not a policing, it is murder, and it exposed the growing crisis of extrajudicial killings and abuse of power within our law enforcement institution. Police should be preserving lives and property. Police should not be there when someone calls you to investigate or solve problem, then you leave cops. On behalf of our stand, we are calling for the immediate dismissal and prosecution of the police RG and all officers involved in this heinous crime. Their actions violate every moral, constitutional, international standing, guarding a law enforcement that protects us. No Liberian family should ever call the police for help and seek cops in return.
He's the Secretary General of the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day, George Tengbe, they're speaking. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn has broken silence amid growing speculation of political feud between Nimba County Senator Samuel Koga, strongly denying any rift and reaffirming his continued support for the senator. Speaking Monday morning on Voice of Compa Radio, VP Kuhn dismissed what he called baseless rumors of a power struggle between two of Nimba's most prominent political figures, particularly as of influence ahead of future elections.
So I think I hear in Aroma, nothing happened between me and Koga. Zero. In fact, Koga was in my office when last week I was in my office when Koga came in my office. And so the more we did talk, really people we talk, Koga have not approached me directly on any of those things you say. And so maybe they talk to me when they would talk about it. But if you talk, you are putting only a start of what I would say to you is that prior to the central election, we went to the county. The election was very, the election was more about keeping the tribal balance in the county. That was the essence of the elections. During the election, there were some people who were counter-accurate. Look, you're talking about tribal balance in the county. But when the two ministers who are in government are from the town tribe, the amount of people only have 32 ministers. Those were true. If you look at the two ministers we have in government today, Minister Kurabi are down people. You find there is a Minister Myers, there is a Minister Dolol, there is a Minister Patrick Cooper, and some other people, they will come from the outside. But the Lima people, for the purpose of keeping the balance, so they decided to bring Senator Koga. We said, no regret. You brought our election back to me. I'll support Koga again today. No regret. I will do the same thing out there. Because I believe it, I went for it, I still believe it today. Now, right after the election, Omodo Cooper, who occupied a position that is equivalent to a deputy minister, resigned and tried to go to the private sector. Goni is my guy. Goni is very close to me. Goni has come to me and talked to me. Senator Koga called me, and I told him, oh man, just call from the man side of the country that low. The man people do not have a minister. There's small deputy minister that they get. He start taking it from them. Then how can we counter the message we get in the country that we try to keep some balance? But and some of the people who came to me, that argument was strong. So we talked about it, and then we thought that we agreed, look, let them look on the man side. So there were some names that came up. Lorena Duncan was one of those persons. And then when they look at the CV,
His Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn there denying any rift and reaffirming his continued support for Nimba County Senator Samuel Koga. The Student Unification Party of the University of Liberia propaganda chairman Samuel Pole has underscored the need for the government of Liberia to place more emphasis on the state-run university. Pole emphasized that the government has failed to live up to its promises, including the provision of buses, salary disbursement of faculty staff, scarcity of water for bathrooms, and the unhygienic condition of the university facilities.
With the same multiple challenges and conditions yet still remain untouched, the major grounds for our advocacy yet still remain the government of Liberia, the university administration, all stakeholders involved. I was basically a couple of days ago, calling closed door meetings, asking for diplomatic grounds to mitigate and remedy some of the situation on the university campus have all left the major province here. And as you can see, campus has resumed in its normal stage, its normal format. The environment is still in its most terrible conditions. The bathroom yet still running out of water as we speak. Students are now having access to most of the bathroom with the congestion of students on the university campus. There's no buses. Buses stay here to commute students to and fro the various university campuses as it was promised and agreed by the national legislature, university administration, and eminent key stakeholders in and around Liberia that help to mitigate the situation for us to reach where we are. Faculties is again are raising issues about salaries not being paid for this going September. Now we are in October, so it means if salary is not paid from September, salary will not be paid with this in October again. So the problem keep compiling in a more complex and dramatic way. The only concern of the government of Liberia is to make sure this school is just open, people come here, and all of the basic things that should be done to accommodate a full-free semester of chaos and violence is ino. So we are very disappointed that the government of Liberia, the legislature, the university administration have not been able to be sincere to their commitment to the Student Unification Party when we were involved in all of this couple of conversations and dialogue to remedy the challenges on the university campus. So we want to say the leadership of the party still maintain its position that my parent will go in a couple of days or a couple of times based on the assessment needs that will be done and the level of work that we are putting our advocacies here will be re-initiating our consistent action for the essence of personal.
Is the Student Unification Party propaganda chairman Emmanuel Pole there at the University of Liberia. Of the home front, soldiers in Madagascar have threatened to seize state TV. President Andreas Rogelinas' office has said this has delayed his plan to address the nation. It says the whereabouts of the president are unclear, with reports saying he has fled the country. Rogelinas said in a statement on Sunday that an attempt to seize power illegally was on the way. A senior army general says the security forces are working together to maintain order in the island nation. Thousands of protesters have gathered in the capital to ramp up pressure on the president to resign. This follows more than 2 weeks of youth-led protests over high unemployment and the cost of living and corruption. To end this news, here once again our top stories. If Judicial Circuit Court of Nimba County sentences former head and co-chairman of the group of 72nd Disabled Persons Organizations in Nimba County to 25 years in prison for raping a 1 year, 11 months old minor. Chief Justice Yamin Kwekwebweze calls on the General Auditing Commission to conduct a comprehensive audit of the immediate powers administration on former Chief Justice Yanen Yo. Chief Justice Bweze says the audit will enhance transparency within Liberia's judicial system. Solidarity and Trust for a New Day demands the immediate dismissal of Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman over his alleged involvement in the death of Matthew Moba, a man believed to have been mentally challenged. And away from home, soldiers in Madagascar have threatened to seize state TV. President Andrea Bogelina's office has said, many thanks to all of our contributors, editors, and reporters who helped in making this edition of King's News Broom a success. For more news and information on this station, do join us at 6 p.m. this evening. Many thanks to Sam Andrews, who sat at control on behalf of the entire team. My name is Cornelius Johnson. Many thanks for listening and watching. Good afternoon.